It's been a hot debate in Palmerston North, and the council's received more than 70 submissions about a proposed reduction of pokie machines. Some say they're a scourge on our society. Others argue they generate critical cash for struggling community projects. The Problem Gambling Foundation wants to push out pokies and presented its case to councillors yesterday. Joining us now is Andre Frood, the Problem Gambling Foundation Communications and Marketing Manager. Morena, Andre. Thank you so much for being with us.
Hi. Talk
to me about what it is that Palmerston North City Council is debating right now.
Well, what they're debating is a sinking lid policy, basically, and in really easy terms, that just means a policy that would mean that the lid would eventually sink because they would not allow any more pokies into the city. So if a venue closes, that means that no more pokies would be allowed into Palmerston North.
Right. So you basically cap the amount of pokie machines that are in a city at that particular time.
Yes, but then it continues to drop because no new venues can open.
Right.
So that's why the lid sinks. Whereas currently, Palmerston North has got a cap which is higher than the number of pokies they've got. So that would mean that more pokies could essentially, or a new venue could open in Palmerston North. So it's fantastic what the council are proposing, and we really hope they introduce the sinking lid.
You were one of only two voices to support the sinking lid policy, though,
yes.
at the council meeting yesterday.
Yep.
It's quite a lonely position to be taking, Andre.
Yeah, it was a very lonely position, and we were really grateful to have Te Whatu Ora there presenting as well. But there were lots of pokie trusts, and groups that receive funding from pokies as well, and that's what we're up against.
And you can appreciate where they're coming from, right? Because these are groups that are struggling. There's not a lot of cash to go around these days. There's so many different community groups, and I'm sure so many of them say, we're really struggling. And so the money they get from the pokie machines is hugely beneficial, and they wouldn't survive without them.
Look, that's right. And we acknowledge that there's some really worthy causes out there, and there's community and sports groups that rely on this money, and it's not their fault that we've created this reliance on this money. But for a lot of them, it doesn't sit well. It's an ethical dilemma. So what we really need is some sort of ethical, sustainable funding system that means we don't have to rely on money that's coming out of the poorest communities in New Zealand, because essentially that's what it is. 61% of those venues are in our medium-high or very high deprivation communities. So it's coming from people who can't afford to lose it and communities that are struggling.
Yeah, so talk to me about the harm that you see from pokies.
Look, we see it every day. So pokies are the most harmful form of gambling in New Zealand, and the majority of people that seek help for a problem with their gambling is because of pokies. They're highly addictive machines, so people come and see us often when they're really at rock bottom. So they might have lost their home, their relationships, they may have committed fraud, they're going without because they can't pay bills and they can't put food on the table. So some people are really broken. And this is about the machines, it's not the individuals. These machines are highly addictive, and we need to really be mindful of the fact that the machines cause this. It's not about individual, because there's a huge amount of stigma that's associated with it as well.
I was looking at some of the stats. I mean, this is a nationwide problem, right?
Yes, it is.
But of course, there's a debate going on in Palmerston North right now. They have 295 pokie machines in Palmerston North. In 2022, so last year, approximately $22.2 million was being lost to pokies in Palmerston North. $22.2 million.
Yes, it's eye-watering.
You actually can't fathom it.
No, you can't. And across New Zealand, it's $1 billion. So
Palmerston North is considering the sinking lid policy. How many other councils have or will be considering something like this?
Well, 33 councils out of the 65 have got sinking lid policies. Some allow relocation, some don't. But, it's really good. That's a record number of sinking lid policies that we've got in this country. And we encourage all councils to introduce sinking lid policies. So we will see the numbers of machines go down, and it will reduce harm in our community.
Are you feeling confident about the submission you made yesterday in Palmerston North?
Yes, we hope that the council are listening and that they do the right thing for their community.